why. Is anyone doing better than we are?
We don't know.
Greetings and welcome to another installment of Mason Cable Networks from the cinema. I'm your hosting extraordinaire, Alexander W. Dotson. I hope you all enjoyed going to the movies last weekend and catching Iron Man 3 and Man of Steel. This week at the cinema, we're going to stick with big blockbuster films and journey into a post-apocalyptic world with Brad Pitt. Yup, you guessed it, World War Z. Before I get into it, let's recap what this movie is all about. First, to answer the obvious question, the Z in World War Z stands for zombies. So this is a movie about zombies. Now that that's out of the way, Brad Pitt is a retired United Nations investigator. He reluctantly gets pulled back into serving the greater good of mankind so his family can stay out of harm's undead reach when the world goes to shit all at once. Pitt searches the far corners of the globe to find a cure, frequently fighting and or running from hordes of zombies all along the way. Pretty standard scenario when compared to other zombie flicks, but due to its $190 million budget, Paramount Pictures let the film show its true international scope. Now this talk of money brings me to the most interesting aspect of World War Z. This film was littered with production problems at the outset. Script problems, reshoots, release date changes, and fighting between Brad Pitt and the director spelled box office doom and gloom for Paramount. Historically, films with this much dirty laundry aired out months before their releases tend to suffer from negative word of mouth and poor reviews as the struggles behind the camera shine through on screen. The shoddy-looking CGI in the trailer and the unimaginative poster did nothing to raise expectations either. Suffice to say, World War Z's troubled production history and poor marketing had effectively ruined any possibility of it being a successful movie, both critically and financially. But boy, do I love being proven wrong. World War Z was super cool. I love zombie movies, and this one did not disappoint. By having Brad Pitt run all around the world, fighting zombies alongside peoples of all nationalities, it brought this unifying concept of humanity and pain to the film that struck me in an emotional sense. The film starts in Philadelphia and moves on to South Korea, Jerusalem, Wales, and finally Nova Scotia. Now I don't mean to get too sappy on you guys. There were thrills abound in this movie. From the tight apartment stairwell chase in New Jersey, to the race through the sprawling city of Jerusalem, and finally, a good old-fashioned zombie slaying in an overrun World Health Research Facility. The apartment stairwell chase was particularly frightening, with a creative use of emergency lighting, and the stark contrast between a whisper in the silence and the screams of those still clinging to life. Now don't get me wrong, World War Z is no Dawn of the Dead or 28 Days Later. It had its issues. There were some rough editing patches of narrative flow due to the complete rewrites and reshoots of the third act. Some things just weren't in sync, and it felt jarring as I watched. It kind of takes you out of the story for a bit, especially when you know the reason why something's not working on screen. A big complaint was that the movie was nothing like the book. To those of you who think that this is a problem, I beg you to consider how much angrier you would have been if they tried to make it exactly like the book and utterly failed. At least in this version, they made it their own while still keeping the international context of the book alive, which in my opinion is the film's redeeming quality. I heartily recommend this movie to all my viewers, even if zombies aren't really your thing. The PG-13 rating keeps it from getting too gory and provides thrills instead of over-the-top mutilation scares. World War Z turned out to be the biggest surprise for me this summer, and I think it might surprise you too. That'll do it for me today, folks. Tune in next week to watch me freak out over how awesomely amazing Pacific Rim is. You won't want to miss a grown man lose his marbles over a movie where giant monsters fight giant robots. And with that, I wish you a good day.